Hello fellow gamers, this is Boy Zero Inc. and we are back with another Kickshawbrothers review, and this is Blacklight Retribution. Let's get to it. Alright, so Blacklight Retribution was created by Zombie Studios. This particular studio was created in 1994. Back in 1999 to 2004, they were known as Zombie Inc. They're best known for their Spec Ops franchise and Tom Clancy in 2000. And they're really good when it comes to first-person shooters. And that's what you have here. You have your basic first-person shooter. There's no campaign that goes with it. It's just a straight multiplayer game, free to play. You can download it from the PlayStation Store at any time. And it came out in 2012, but the reason I'm reviewing it now is because it's on the PlayStation 4. So, since it's on the PlayStation 4, let's begin this review. First thing I wanted to talk about is the graphics. Now, the graphics in this game are pretty outdated, okay? You come to expect that from a game that was released in 2012. However, even in 2012, these graphics weren't anything to write home about, okay? The textures are kind of bland. The lighting in it's really Sometimes you have trouble seeing enemies. The blurriness when you're actually aiming down the scope and you move the scope, especially if you turn up the sensitivity on your controller, is terrible. Absolutely terrible. In scope, it's kind of better, but you still feel like the scope is really far away. There's nothing that zooms all the way in and you can get a really good view of things that are a distance from you. A lot of things are kind of bland in it, so I have to give graphics in this particular first-person shooter a 6 out of 10. It's average. It's not bad. It's not going to take away from your experience, but it is and it's just really just an average overall graphic. As far as gameplay in this is kind of odd. Okay, I don't want to say it's bad, but I don't want to say it's like overly good either. It's even turning the sensitivity all the way up, you're gonna still have problems with aiming. Hit tickers don't hit the way they should. Gameplay in it does have its dead zones. There's no like swift gameplay. It's not like Destiny. It's not like Call of Duty. You're going to have issues with it here and there. Now, I don't know if those same issues are going to apply for the Xbox version or the PC version. I don't think on the PC version it has as many bugs and as many issues, but it might. I don't know. I didn't actually watch a review on a PC version. But again, it's an average. It's an average gameplay. It's not going to take away from your experience, but it's not going to be anything to write home about either, so I have to give another 6 out of 10 to gameplay. Now, as far as fun factor in this game, the shocking part about this is that it was fun. Okay, even with the outdated graphics and even with the issues that you have with animations and everything else like that, and hit tickers, this game actually is still fun. It's quick, it's fast-paced. You're going to end up playing it over and over again. It's you know, it's addictive as any other free first-person shooter. So it is still a real fun game. So I have to give fun factor in this just overall because you are gonna play it for hours upon hours. If you like first-person shooters, if you're not into casual games and if you're not into first-person shooters, you're probably not gonna spend hours on this game. But for me, I did. I spent, you know, there are times I've gone 2 hours, there are times I've gone 4. I've had, you know, times where that's the case. So, I have to give the fun factor in this a 10 out of 10. I have to give the fun factor in this a 10 out of 10. Now, multiplayer in this is where you're going to have some issues. You're definitely going to have some issues with connectivity, okay? You're going to have issues where the host leaves and then it kicks you. You're going to have issues where the host can... I believe the host can kick you, too. There's no way to actually invite your friend into a game and put him on your team. There's no way to party up, which is a huge blow. There's no real actual lobbies. Basically, you can create your own lobby and leave it public, and then people can randomly join your game, okay? Or you can make it private if you just want to have games with like one-on-one. Servers in this particular game are not very good. It's not like Destiny where you aren't going to be kicked at all. It's not like other AAA franchises where you're not going to be kicked at all. Okay, the issues with this game, there are many. So with that, I give this game a 5 out of 10 because it does deter you from your gaming experience. It being just a straight multiplayer game, it should have much better connectivity than it does, much better server control than it does, and it doesn't really do that here. So content in this is plentiful, okay? You do have many choices of weapons, you do have many choices of weapon parts, you do have many choices of gear, you do have many choices of armor that you have to unlock based on your play. So depending on how good you do is how good your experience goes up. Due to the fact that it's a free-to-play game, the grinding in it takes forever. But the content in it, what they did was very, very intricate, okay? Basically, you have the choice of whether you want to do it daily, and then you have actual money where you get, you know, different parts and different weapons and different armor for permanent use. Like, you aren't going to lose it. If you do the day-by-day thing, you're going to lose it every single day, and then you got to repurchase it every single day. But if you're good, this isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're good at first-person shooters. And I think this is a great concept, a great way to do first-person shooters. You know, give a day, give 8 hours. Hell, we'd probably take 8 hours. And if you're good, you're going to be able to not spend any money on this game. I recommend spending some money, getting the permanent, you know, items, because I do believe it is worth it. It's still a great multiplayer experience. Zombie Studios did a very good job. The content in this, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I would have given it an 8, but there isn't as much content as you would see in a Destiny or see in some of these other FPSs coming out, and you come to expect that with a free-to-play game. So, final rating is 34 out of 50. Okay? Now what does that mean? That means that this game receives a decent average 6.8 out of 10. Okay? It's not a game you're going to write home about. It's not a game that you're going to really, really enjoy, like play every single day and have to get your fix every single day. It's not one of those games. But the game itself does do what it's supposed to do. It's a great multiplayer experience, and I recommend people try it out. It's free to play, so you're not going to be losing anything unless you decide to spend money. And the way they've done the microtransactions in this really make it worth it. Really make it worth your time. And, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next Kickshawbrothers review.